Hey guys, welcome to Collider Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm your host, Ashley Mova, and this is the daily show where we give you all the latest news from the world of movies, plus some insight into what it all means. Leading off the show today is Dennis Tzeng.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of Collider Movie Talk. As you can see, we're back in studio in Los Angeles. As you saw yesterday and the day before, we were in New York filming at our parent company Complex's offices. Now we're back and ready to go.
Also your host of Heroes, Jon Schnepp.
What's going on? Man, I'm so rested, I don't even know what to say. I wasn't on a plane, all rickety turbulence with no, anyway, what's going on? Hey, how's it going?
Also here is Jeremy Jahns.
I'm with you, Schnepp. I have the same story. They left me behind here, which gave me a good opportunity to go to Disneyland, the most magical place on earth, and hang out with some friends. How was New York?
Also here, Ken Napzok.
I'll tell you how New York was, Jeremy. It was cold. Very, very cold. Thank you for my scarf for allowing me to live the last couple of days. But also thank you to all the nice people we met at the Collider meetup at the hotel. That was a great time. Dennis, we threw that out there and we had a blast.
Yeah, it was kind of an impromptu thing. I'm sorry if some of you guys didn't get the message. We actually weren't planning on doing it because we weren't sure what time we were going to get into New York. We ended up changing our flights to earlier, so we had a little meet and greet, and there was actually a pretty good turnout, so thank you guys for coming out.
All right, now that Rogue One, A Star Wars Story has been released in theaters, the next big Star Wars film everyone is looking forward to see is next year's Star Wars Episode 8. But don't expect Lucasfilm and Disney to launch the first trailer anytime soon. In an interview with the BBC, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy revealed that the first trailer for Episode 8 will be revealed in spring after the current release of Rogue One has some time to breathe. Episode 8 is directed by Looper director Rian Johnson and is set for release on December 15th. 2017. Dennis, were you surprised to hear we won't be seeing a trailer for Episode 8 sooner, especially before Rogue One?
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all because they don't want to do anything to distract from Rogue One. Rogue One is doing very well right now, and you have to remember, I know when The Force Awakens, before that came out, before even this time, they had a teaser trailer out. But you have to remember, there was no Star Wars movie out. So there's nothing, they wanted to put something out there to satisfy the fans, that get them excited and anticipated for that film. Right now, everything's about Rogue One. They don't want people thinking about Episode 8 right now. They want people to go to the movie theaters, buy tickets, and watch Rogue One multiple times. What do you think, Ken?
Well, you're absolutely right, Dennis. And this Episode 8 revealed in spring, to me, is code for Star Wars celebrations.
Yeah.
Which is as it should be. And as someone who's part of Collider Jedi Council, has my own Star Wars podcast feed, I actually could say I want a little breathing room.
Okay.
Let me catch my breath. If we're going to do Star Wars every year, having a little bit of time to let Rogue One breathe and to just not have to worry about what does that poster for Episode 8 mean. Does Luke have a beard? Does he not have a beard? What does it mean that he does have a beard? I'm okay letting this promotion ramp up in the spring into the summer leading into the movie. Give me a little time to breathe.
Jeremy?
Yeah, it's on a much smaller scale. I personally don't like uploading 2 videos on my channel per day, so I understand the whole giving it room to breathe thing. And when you have a multi-billion-dollar company having a franchise that is also a multi-billion-dollar franchise, I imagine, the fact that they're handling it that way, I like it. I'm a little surprised. I thought they were going to have a trailer, but the reasoning behind why they don't have a trailer yet and they won't for a couple months is actually a really good reason. So I totally get it.
Schnepp, is spring and possibly Star Wars Celebration the right time to release an Episode 8 trailer?
Sure, why not? I'm assuming they're going to release a teaser probably in February. What Star Wars Celebration is in April, right?
April, yeah.
Yes, my guess would be February, March, April. Yeah, they could hold out and do a teaser in April, though I'd like to see it earlier. But I think we're going to see 2 movies a year after this 8th one because they're going to release Han Solo in May, I think, of 2018. And then they're going to want to hold on to this Christmas as well. So I think all the Skywalker-related Star Wars films will be coming out in December, and the one-offs will be in May, so they get those 2 Star Wars flavors. So.
Yeah, but I don't know how much longer. They're gonna continue doing trilogies, but I think they're gonna take a break after Episode 9.
You think? I think they're gonna do Episode 10, 11, and 12. They're gonna keep going. I know Lucas had originally had 12 episodes, then it was 9, then it was 6. Maybe there was just written down like a coffee stain. Wills. Who knows what it really was? Kenobi with a metallic arm. We don't know what the real story was, but I'd like to see more of it.
Yeah, that money ain't gonna press itself, my man, but you know what this means. If it's Star Wars Celebration, we're getting a trailer. Disney's Bears 2 coming this April.
Disney's Nature's Bears?
That's right.
Love that.
Ken, as the most diehard Star Wars fan, what do you think about, like, are they going to continue on with the next trilogy just right after another, or do you think they're going to take a breather?
I think they will. I think they'll keep going. I think you're right, John. Put something up in May. You got something big in December. You own both tent poles on that summer into the big blockbuster into the winter season. That's a Star Wars period they want to dominate. I'd like them to take a break. I'd like Episode 10 to come a little later and mean something more. Mm-hmm. But you know what means more than my feelings? Money.
Money, yeah. Money is something that I was looking forward to.
And funny, that's just one facet of the Disney empire, man. They'll own summer, fall, winter, spring at that point. There's no breaks whatsoever. It's just like a monthly cash flow for them.
Yeah.
So good job, Disney. You played your cards right.
That's right.
All right, what's next?
20th Century Fox has released 3 new photos from the upcoming Alien Covenant. The first image features what appears to be some colonial marines doing what they do best, with the second appearing to be of some cryo chambers. The third image comes from EW, and it gives us our very first good look at Catherine Waterston's Ripley-esque Daniels. In addition to the images, James Franco has confirmed rumors that he indeed plays a role in the film, which he confirmed in an interview with Hey You Guys. Alien Covenant is directed by Ridley Scott and will open in theaters on May 19th, 2017. Schnepp, what do you think of the new images from Alien Covenant?
I love them. I mean, they don't really give away too much, but you get a good look at the new female protagonist. And I think James Franco, I'm hoping he's playing like a scummy Wayland Yutani, like, can we just please keep the eggs? It's one of those guys.
So someone like Paul Reiser?
Totally like Paul Reiser. Completely like Paul Reiser.
Jeremy?
Yeah, you know what's funny is I hadn't thought of that. I was bombarded with thoughts of I think Franco just does comedic roles, and then once in a while is like, I'm going to be a part of that big franchise like Planet of the Apes and now Aliens, and somehow this dude gets in there, and this guy is a part of like every facet of entertainment. And I hadn't thought of what role he would play until I thought of a really scummy Wayland guy, and I'm like, yeah, he's going to be a Wayland douche for sure. This is awesome. As for the images, I think the images are great. It really harkens back to the alien piece of the pie that Prometheus was rumored to be a part of. A lot of people's complaints about Prometheus was like it wasn't alien enough, so it looks like it's like, hey, here's some aliens stuff, so now you can, hopefully everybody can have a good time. I really like the images, I really do.
Yeah, Ridley Scott seemed to, with Prometheus, try and hide the fact that it had any connection to Alien whatsoever. Even with the name, and then he was kind of like, very shy about talking about any type of connection. This time it's full on. That's what I get from these images.
Yeah.
They're like, no. She looks like Ripley. That bottom shot with the soldiers I love because it reminds me of Aliens, which is actually my favorite of the franchise.
I agree.
And so I think they're not going to make that mistake this time. That's why they had that one poster. The first teaser poster was just the alien face.
It's just
Right.
run on
Run.
it. You see the drool coming out, right?
Yeah. Ken?
These pictures are great, man. Look at this. There's going to be action. I mean, there's definitely weapons in the forefront. We got a little boots on the ground. They're definitely tying in. And the James Franco thing, you're so right. It's like, is he going to be like a spring breaker kind of alien dude, come crazy? But no, this guy has a legit side that we seem to sometimes overlook because he himself is, I don't want to say just amusing. He's an artist.
Right.
He's a teacher. He's a poet. He's a soap actor. And he could still bring it in some of these big franchises. That's kind of interesting to me that he could do that, and I'm on board for it.
Yeah, he was in Rise of the Planet. He also was in that, was it the Amazon series? No, Hulu series?
Oh,
Yeah,
11,
11/23/63
Yeah,
or whatever.
another science fiction.
11/22,
I'm
62.
still waiting for his Tommy Wiseau, the disaster
I'm
artist.
waiting for
I can't
that,
wait
too.
for that.
Right.
When is that coming
I
out?
can't wait for that because then we get to do the Room commentary.
Yeah.
And then before that movie comes
And
out.
Franco will be there sitting with us.
And he was in 127 Hours, and he was great in there.
Oh,
Like,
he
the
was
guy
fantastic
has
in
a
that.
legit
Yeah.
side to him. He just hides it behind his Francoisms, and which is it's like a magician, It's just like he hides the depth, and then when he needs to release it, he just does, and it actually blows everyone away.
All right, guys, let's move on to buy or sell. Ashley, we'll go next.
EW premiered a new image from Justice League. The brand new look at the film features Batman, The Flash, and Wonder Woman, along with an accompanying story that quotes director Zack Snyder saying he is super happy with the chemistry of his League of Justice Doers. The movie stars Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Ezra Miller, Jason Momoa, and Ray Fisher. It's set for release on November 17th, 2017. Jeremy, buy or sell the new look at Batman, Wonder Woman, and The Flash?
I buy it in the sense that it's kind of the same look we've gotten forever. It's like every look of the Justice League is like, here's a look of a couple people standing together. It's like, oh, that's neat. And then a few weeks later, it's like, hey, here's a new look of a few people standing together in the movie. You're like, all right, yeah, I'll buy that. They're like, all right, we got something crazy. 3 of them standing together, all from the same movie. You're like, yeah, cool. I mean, it looks neat. I like the look of them. I like the aesthetic. I think they'll all do a fine job. I just need another trailer at this point. I need something. I need to see motion. I need to see them interact. I need to see them do stuff. But for now, yeah, as an optimist, I'm going to buy the images because I have no reason to not buy the images except for, Batman v Superman.
But Jeremy, this is from a lower angle.
Yes, it's a
and
lower
they're like,
angle.
they're looking off somewhere
yes.
over from where we can't see what they're looking at.
it's the same
It's totally
thing,
different. It's totally different.
So I'm taking you're buying this, Schnepp.
Yeah, I'm buying. I mean, you know what? It is the same. It's
Yeah.
exactly the same, but it is slightly different.
Yeah.
So slightly lower angle. You know what? It's kind of a little more heroic, I think. It's more of an epic shot. Like, they might be looking at Darkseid coming out of a boom tube. They might be looking at Superman naked. We don't know what they're looking at.
We have
But
no
they're
idea.
obviously all kind of aghast or surprised
They're
or
pretty
freaked out. They're like,
awestruck right now.
what the hell? Yeah. Look at
You staying on the other side of that picture, Superman dong? That's on the
Possibly.
other side?
Very possible.
All right, I'm going to sell this. The reason I'm going to sell this is because it does look great. It looks great. Great promotional shot. We're in an era where a tweet with a picture is promotion for a movie. Great job, but the onus is on them, Warner Brothers DC, to make sure that this is more than a picture. So I'm going to sell until we're ready to buy with something that they put in the theaters that we all like. You could debate individual moments or something for the movies. If you like them, you like them. That's fine. But I'm going to sell based on that. And also, in the notes that our wonderful producer Mark Riley put in, Ezra Miller recently quoted saying, "The Flash is Ringo Starr. He annoys everybody, but he doesn't have any specific beef with it." As a Beatles fan, Ringo doesn't annoy anyone. That is Ringo's secret power.
I'm going to buy this image as well. Yeah, you guys are right. It doesn't show anything new. They are looking up at something. We don't know what that is. Is it the main villain or is it Superman being resurrected? No big secret. Superman is coming back. They're not going to do Justice League. That's not a spoiler. Justice League is not going to happen without
There's
Superman.
pictures of him on set, and they're
I
like,
know.
yeah, he's kind of dead. No, he's not. He's in that picture.
Right.
So at some point, the question is whether they're going to try and reveal that or keep it hidden for this one, and then I'm sure at the end of this part 1, he's going to be alive. As far as the costumes concerned, I know Batman they changed it a little bit up from Batman v Superman. Looks good. I'm just wondering where Aquaman is at this point as well.
Yeah, Christian Bale outfit. That's what he's wearing.
Yeah.
It's the all black Batman.
That is a good question. It's like, other than Jason Momoa with a guitar on set, Aquaman really hasn't been front and center. It's like he probably, for his character, doesn't care until he's made to care. It's like, oh, that affects Atlantis? That's great. So he'll probably come in about when Superman does.
That's a great point because we need more shirtless Momoa
That's
pictures
right.
out there.
That's what I'm saying.
All right? Come on. Hashtag shirtless Momoa.
So like last week when we were desperately waiting to talk about what was that trailer? Arsenal last week. The next one is the one we've been waiting to talk about.
Ooh.
Actually, tell us about
All right, hold on to your seats because Sony Pictures Animation has released the first teaser for the Emoji Movie. Previously titled Emoji Movie Express Yourself, the animated comedy unlocks the never-before-seen secret world inside your smartphone, where hidden within the app is Textopolis, a bustling city where all your favorite emojis live. The movie features the voices of James Corden, Alana Glazer, and TJ Miller, and hits theaters on August 4th, 2017. Schnepp, buy or sell the Emoji Movie teaser?
Yeah. Well, let's just get into it right away. I'm gonna hold my breath and wait for Alphabet the movie, where it's all about like text-based Textopolis. This is horrible and garbage. It's a what the F world that we live in. First the orange clown, now Emoji the movie. I don't know where we're going. I don't know what's happening with our planet. It's burning up in a crisp cylinder. We're going to be a cube of death, and probably by 2018. We're burning everything alive. Emoji the movie, just beyond stupid. I can't stand it.
So you buy it.
I sell this more than I could possibly sell anything in all of 2016. 2016 has sucked ass, all right? Everybody's dying. The world is ending. Climate change, deniers. I don't know what's happening, but we have an Emoji movie to look forward to. Kill me now.
All right. Ken, you buying this?
I want to sell this to be on Jon Schnepp's good side. There's one thing I'll buy in this trailer, and that is Stephen Wright, one of the best comedians of all time. Actually, a voice meh Meh. He's in this trailer featured prominently. That's about the only good thing I'll say about it. We live in a studio exec sitting around a table turning anything into movies, and this is proof. And you know what? Unfortunately, John, it's probably going to make some money because I can see someone wanting to take kids to this movie.
As long as Stephen Wright makes some money off those residuals, because we looked it up. We were like, I was pissed. I was like, somebody's imitating Stephen Wright, and we checked.
Yeah.
It's Stephen Wright. So I was like, they did something right.
So I'll sell, but Stephen Wright, you can buy.
Jeremy.
If for nothing else, the Emoji Movie gave us your intro, Schnepp, where you're like, yeah, that's enough for me. Yeah, emojis were the thing that made me feel old because my friend Allie was texting, and ice cream cones and whatnot were showing up in her text. I'm like, how on earth are you doing that? She was like, they're emojis. And I was like, you're gonna have to explain this. And then she had Twitter
You have a cookie emoji right there.
Right. And so I finally figured out how to do it, and I felt like an old man. And so I'm clearly disconnected from this movie. But it is a weird, like, this is proof positive. You could take any property and make it into a movie somehow. And then there you go. So yeah, man, like it's Math the movie. I would watch that because that would prominently have Tesla involved in it, and I think that would be cool. I don't know. I hope it doesn't make money. It's going to, but I really hope this doesn't make. If there's one thing that can beat Assassin's Creed in one way, shape, or form, it's this one for bad.
Okay. I'm gonna sell this hard. It's not as bad as the Arsenal trailer that I watched on Friday, but it's pretty bad. Look, I had tried to keep an open mind because of how good the Lego movie was. Even Angry Birds I thought was okay. This trailer was terrible. First of all, they take the emoji that is least, they want the meh emoji, like they led with that one. And then two, it was they did the stupid vertical phone shot with the blurry on this. No one I mean, I'm just guessing the movie is not going to be like that. If the movie's like that completely, like just forget about it. Throw in the garbage can. But even just to market it that way, it's just so stupid. I look at it and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Ashley,
Yeah.
Wendy, did you guys watch the trailer?
We watched it, and honestly, guys, I was not expecting much, but it did make me laugh. I will give it that. It did make me laugh. Do I think it's going to be a fabulous movie? No, but I giggled a couple of times.
Well, I'll say this. I agree with Ashley as far as like when we opened with the meh emoji. There was a couple of lines that made me giggle, and then they switched to this other scene, and it just tried to make this poop joke work. It just fell flat. I agree with Dennis about the vertical shot thing. Like, it just looks so amateur, and you're trying to, this is a feature film, a studio's behind it, but it looks extremely amateur. Sell.
You know what's
Giving it
funny
away.
though about them choosing the meh emoji? It's almost as if they know what people are expecting from the movie, so they chose the meh emoji to do the teaser.
They knew what the audience's reaction
Yeah. That our reaction was meh.
It is an interesting tactic where if there's a flaw with something and you know something's going to get slammed, wear it on your sleeves and it won't hurt so much. Fact is, I agree with you, Schnepp. This is a movie that was greenlit in a year that is arguably the worst year in the history of years. There's something venomous about 2016. So when this comes out, it'll be that, oh yeah, that was made in that year.
It's got the stain of 2016 burned into its stupid emoji.
All right, what's next?
All right, original Mary Poppins star Dick Van Dyke recently confirmed that he'll appear in Disney's Mary Poppins Returns. Speaking with EW about his experience working in the original, Van Dyke also confirmed that he will be playing the role of Mr. Dawes' son. Mr. Dawes being the character he also played in the original movie, in which he ran the bank where George Banks worked, while also being a secondary antagonist in the movie as well. He'll join Emily Blunt and Lin-Manuel Miranda for the Christmas set release in 2018. Dennis, buy or sell Dick Van Dyke coming back for Mary Poppins Returns?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy this. I haven't seen Mary Poppins in such a long time, and I actually didn't remember that he played a secondary character. So when Riley had written the show notes and I read them, I was like, what? I didn't know he played a different character. Yeah, but it's great to have him back, and I like him in this antagonist role, kind of like a Mr. Potter from It's a Wonderful Life thing. So I'm all for that. Schnepp.
I love Dick Van Dyke. He's an amazing actor. It's so great that he's still so full of energy and still acting. So I completely buy that he's in the Poppins. But I think you were talking. One of you guys said Poppins universe. Was it you?
Shared universe.
Sounds like you're expanding the Poppins universe. Please expand on those thoughts, please.
I think all of us collectively were like the shared Mary Poppins cinematic universe. Everything has a cinematic universe now. If Disney's backing it, it's going to happen, folks. It's the way it is. If you're throwing it to me, I am cautiously going to buy this. I love Mary Poppins. I love Saving Mr. Banks. I grew up on Mary Poppins. I love the music. I love the characters. I love all of it. Dick Van Dyke's face, I'm going to see Bert more than the Banks, Poppins, that guy. And so I feel like it's going to freak me out to see him in an antagonist role. However, it does afford the movie some interesting directions it can go. Having the banker's son and possibly Mary Poppins can influence his life or something like that. So I can see the possibilities of it. I personally didn't want them to touch it, but I think Emily Blunt is a good pick for Mary Poppins. What I've seen is going to make me buy it, but I'm cautiously buying it. I just don't want them to mess it up.
Ken?
I'll buy this simply because it's a legend getting to come back. Angela Lansbury's also in this as well.
Nice.
I'm hoping this leads to a Diagnosis Murder reunion show on Netflix. I really hope so. So now my question: if this isn't a straight remake, it's now a shared universe. It's canon. Do we have a Mary Poppins canon we have to worry about? That's kind of confusing, but it's fun. I wouldn't want them to do this movie without some respectful nod to the original, and this seems like a great way to do it. And Dick Van Dyke seems excited about it, so I'm going to buy it based on that.
You know, I was going to say there is a purity to the old Mary Poppins movie, you know, and now it's like, what are the kids? I can see the kids being little brats watching their Emoji movies and whatnot, and like, you know, there's a lot you can do in modern day if it takes place in modern day, but that was part of the magic of Mary Poppins, is it took place before the, you know, so I'm cautious. Dennis.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
Warner Brothers has released a new set of character posters from the Lego Batman movie. The spin-off brings back Will Arnett as the voice of the Cape Crusader, alongside new minifigures shown in the new posters. There's Barbara Gordon / Batgirl, voiced by Rosario Dawson, Robin Boy Wonder, Michael Cera, Bruce Wayne's Kick Butler, and Alfred Pennyworth, voiced by Ray Fiennes. Their main adversary will be the Clown Prince of Gotham, the Joker, voiced by Zach Galifianakis, with Harley Quinn, voiced by Jenny Slate. The film is set to open in theaters on February 10th. Ken, buy or sell the new character posters from the Lego Batman movie?
I'm going to buy it, which is interesting because, Dennis, you mentioned it a little bit ago. When the first Lego movie was coming out, we might have sold this based on how could you do that? But it has worked, and the Lego brand, look, I grew up playing Legos way back in the old school days. It is such a great brand, and they've created this wonderful world that we're now buying into anything they can do. These pictures do look fun. I like the characters. I like Jenny Slate getting a big audience here as Harley Quinn. That's good. Rosario Dawson as Batgirl. That's interesting. Zach doing Joker. Who knows? It might surpass Jared Leto. Is Zach sending any kind of dead rats to anyone in the VO booth? We don't know. I'm going to buy it. They look interesting. They look dynamic, and they look fun.
Yeah, I'm going to buy it as well. It's none of them are amazing, but they get the point across, right? There's a Lego movie coming, and it's focused on Batman, and they have really good voice actors doing the voices. I don't remember a movie campaign that had this much marketing to it. How many trailers have we seen? Like 10?
Four plus an expanded TV spot.
We've seen like so many trailers, so many posters, so many things for this movie. I mean, thankfully it's coming out in February, which is pretty soon. So then after that, like, we won't have to, at least for a while, see their marketing campaign. Jeremy?
Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking about that too, Ken. It's like, you know, everyone's going to be like, Galifianakis was hilarious. He was the best. And Leto's like, I sent people used condoms. That's meta. It's meta, folks. It's meta. Yeah, I think the character posters are great. I mean, springboarding off of the trailers we've gotten, so now you get character posters that people can steal from the movie theater when they work there, and they can hang them up in their bedrooms, you know? So, I mean, it's all shaping up to be really good. I've liked the trailers so far, so I like the posters, so I'm looking forward to this movie. I feel like I'm going to like it.
Yeah, I want a character poster of Condiments Man. I mean, are we gonna get like the super
Condiments King?
Yeah, the Condiments King. I like the posters. I like Harley Quinn had like Smilex, a little callback to the original Batman Joker. He's got a Smilex T-shirt. You know, maybe Zach gave all the other actors Lego rats. You know, that would just be a little bit upscale. I'm looking forward to this film. I buy all the character posters. I just want the film to come out tomorrow. I'm tired of all the trailers.
Yeah,
I just want to see
too much marketing for
But
this thing.
You're absolutely right. I mean, we're all going to buy this Lego Batman based on the Lego movie that originally, when they first announced a Lego movie, yeah, I'm sure if you go back to the original movie talks, you can see us all trashing it like, Lego, a movie, what the hell? Yeah. But it turned out great. I really don't think the Emoji Movie's going to do this.
Well,
Everything's emoji.
that first teaser trailer doesn't help it at all.
It's not really,
No.
I mean, so, we can all say we were wrong about the Emoji Movie. Or I could say I was wrong about the Emoji Movie.
I don't think you will be, though.
I probably feel like I'm not, because the world will be a burning cinder by the time that movie comes out. But at least we'll get Batman Lego. That's coming out earlier.
All right, guys, now we're on to our weekly segment called AMC Rewind. This is where we take a look back at older movies that came out 10 years and 20 years ago. Ashley, which movies were those?
10 years ago, there was Letters from Iwo Jima, Rocky Balboa, Night at the Museum, and on Christmas 10 years ago, Children of Men. 20 years ago, there was Scream, Beavis and Butthead Do America, and on Christmas, The People vs. Larry Flint and Evita.
Jeremy, which movies out of those stand out for you?
As much as Rocky Balboa does stand out to me, I'm going Scream and Beavis and Butthead Do America. Scream because that was the first meta horror movie. Like killers were these supernatural people in these horror movies, and this one was based in a world where those movies existed, and these freaks were just dressing up and killing people. I thought that was really cool, and a lot of movies that have built on that sense all came from Scream. Beavis and Butthead Do America because the greatest movie theater standee in the history of movie theater standees was Beavis and Butthead Do America. You walk by it, and Butthead would go, "Hey, baby." And so old ladies would walk by this thing in the movie theater, and Butthead would go, "Hey, baby." And it was the funniest thing you'd ever seen. Those are mine.
Schnepp?
Yeah, I love Beavis and Butthead. Definitely Scream is a fantastic, original, use the rules of horror and all that really well. Kevin Williamson's script. But for me, it's Children of Men. That's a fantastic film. That it came out on Christmas. I don't even remember that it came out on Christmas. It was such a joyous film about the end of. They should have called it Emoji Apocalypse. Maybe that would have worked. But Children of Men really fits for me. That's the one that I've watched again and again and again. Not just because it's an amazing film, just the incredible camera work, the acting by Clive Owen, everything about it. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out.
Ken?
Beavis and Butthead Do America is, you forget if you weren't there around that time. I don't want to sound like the old guy going, back in the 20 years ago. But it was a different time. That thing took America by storm, if you will. Engelbert Humperdinck's Lesbian Sigil became a song everyone was singing again because of that. Scream, of course, for its legacy. What's interesting, I talk about being back there. I was a rock DJ 20 years ago, and People vs. Larry Flint featuring Courtney Love was something that we were all like, how is this going to work? And it kind of worked because she was a character she could play pretty well, and I remember that having a lot of impact and being an interesting change and a risky casting that you look back and just seems like something that happened. Night at the Museum 10 years ago, that was a little surprise, something that I don't know I would have thought I enjoyed as much as I did when I sat down in the theater just 10 years ago.
Yeah, a lot of these movies on the list I definitely have seen, like Letters from Iwo Jima. I actually watched that. I actually didn't see. It was supposed to be kind of like a companion piece to Flag of Our Fathers, which I didn't see. I saw Letters from Iwo Jima first. Really liked that. Probably, I'm trying to think, is that the last Clint Eastwood movie that I really, really liked? It's been a while. And then Rocky Balboa. That actually, for me, I mean, obviously we got the Fantastic Creed recently, but that was actually a film that kind of made up for Rocky 5.
The one with the
yeah. I
Is that the robot in it, right?
No.
Or was that
was 4.
It had that Dolph Lundgren-ish looking kid who was like
Tommy Gunn.
Tommy Gunn.
Tommy Gunn.
Right. I'm just saying he was, because Dolph Lundgren is in Rocky, but I'm saying like that for some odd reason, like you look like you could be his kid. Yes.
Yeah, and they never even fought in the ring.
No.
They just fought in the streets.
Outside.
Yeah. So I liked Rocky Balboa for that, and then Children of Men. That's like a science fiction, like one of my favorite science fiction movies. I didn't watch it in the theaters because, as you pointed out, Schnepp, coming out on Christmas, that's such a terrible movie to come out on Christmas. It's like about the end of the world. Yeah, let's release it on Christmas. I saw it eventually when it came out on DVD and Blu-ray, and fell in love with it, and it's a movie I continue to watch. All right, guys, before we get on to Mailbag, I want to mention you all the shows that have come out recently for Collider Video on our YouTube channel. We had Collider Nightmares come out earlier today. We also had a crash course talking about the Obi-Wan Rey theory. Also, something big dropped yesterday, which was the Team Star Wars Schmodown with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sam Witwer versus Ken over there and John Campea. That was it was an amazing match. I honestly think that was probably my favorite match I've ever seen.
It would have been if I had won.
You know what? Stay for the end credits.
Yeah, a little bit of controversy. I don't want to speak to it now. Yeah, there was some controversy. You can watch that at the end. There's a message from Christian Harloff saying, unfortunately, that they won't correct that mistake. John Campy and I will have a response. You just have to tune into the Schmodown Spectacular, which comes out this Friday. Other than that, it was great fun.
Yeah.
Sam and Freddie are great. A lot of fun to be a part of, but it leaves me wanting more.
Can I just say that you're a super Star Wars nerd? Like there was
I
watched and there was like stuff that I was like, I don't know what the hell the answer is. And I don't even remember the answers. Quilgrom or whatever. It was like Fibulas.
See,
or like
now
some
Schnepp,
weird-
you know how we feel when you name like some obscure comic book character.
I know, but see, the comic book stuff is more important.
Yeah. It's
No,
cooler.
I'm just saying, there's levels of sweat that
Yeah.
were like really appreciated.
Oh, there's some sweat.
I was like, there's like some depths of some nerdiness.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you guys, especially Whitwer, that guy's
Yeah.
freakishly weird. Like he won't even let you finish the question. He's like Obi-Wan. You're like, relax, man.
He was like a Jedi.
Yeah, he was like Sith powers or whatever, Jedi powers, whatever.
Yeah,
You know?
more Sith, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So check that out. That's on the channel right now. And speaking of the Schmodown Spectacular, which comes out this Friday, which is like a 3.5-hour extravaganza. We got 5 matches, 2 title matches, including Dan Murrell versus Mark Ellis. We're actually going to play you a little promo right now.
Going for that belt again because I liked it.
I want all the belts. I want all the records.
We show up, we bust bracket.
We are going to be in the Schmodown Spectacular because we deserve to be there.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the movie trivia Schmodown.
I cannot wait to beat Dan Murrow and represent Wake Forest.
I'm not coming for any belts. I'm keeping this belt.
There you have it. That's a promo for the Schmodown Spectacular coming out this Friday. All right, now we have Mailbag. This is the part of the show where we answer your viewer-submitted questions. How do you do that? You send us emails to collidervideo@gmail.com, and we'll answer them on our daily movie talk show or on our weekend Mailbag. Ashley, what do we got first?
Gabe writes, "Hi Collider, I just watched Campia's review of Assassin's Creed and I can't say I'm surprised. It was a bag of shiznit. They couldn't decide if they were marketing it as a sci-fi movie, an exciting period piece, or an Oscar movie. My question for you is, do you think that if they give this franchise another shot, should they ignore the modern day elements with a person accessing the memories of their ancestors? Ever since I first played the games, I wondered why they felt the need to add that element to an already great premise."
John Campia had shot a non-spoilers review you can check up on the channel right now, Assassin's Creed. Actually, later today, we're going to have our spoilers review that has myself, John Campia, Perry, and Wendy talking about the movie. I mean, just to, the short of it is the movie sucks. It's terrible. Don't watch it. But, one of the main reasons why it's not good is because they take the most interesting part of the video game, which is all the stuff about the past and the ancestors, and make it maybe 1/3 of the film. It makes no sense why they did that. In terms of them rebooting it, unless there's a miracle and this thing makes a ton of money at the box office, you're not going to see a sequel. It's kind of like what M. Night did to the Last Airbender franchise. He just ruined it. And that movie actually did okay at the box office, but it was so disliked by everyone that they decided not to make a sequel. So I just don't see that happening. Jeremy?
Well, my review of Assassin's Creed has 500,000 hits, so bring on the sequel if that's what it does for me. Why not? Go for it. People love it when I trash something. But, you can tell that, the modern day and then like hooking them up to the Animus and then they're living past memories. That's it, lore in the game. It should have just been a shorter thing. He should have been there, plugged him in, and he should not have come out of that thing until the end of the movie. You could have people walking around going, "Oh my gosh, it's getting intense," and they're like the Matrix, like they're watching code, you know. But you can tell it's going for a Matrix thing, and it came across as like a half-ass 99-cent Matrix thing. But yeah, they should have kept him in the Animus. They should have had 75, 80%, 90% of the movie take place in the Animus. Whether or not I want to see them give it a second shot, not really. Why? We've already been here, you know? Let's just leave it dead and play the games.
Yep.
I haven't seen the film yet, but I did see the previous team up with the director and Fassbender called Macbeth, which was horrible. It's basically like a misguided, ill-conceived version of Macbeth. Like, hey, let me take everything that's about this Shakespeare play and misunderstand it and misrepresent it. It was a really bad film. So when I heard that they were teaming up for Assassin's Creed, I was really like, I'm not really looking forward to this. The trailers, didn't really sell me on it. But then hearing that they're not using, when you play the video game, you're actually in the Animus, and that's the whole idea, is that you're inside this, I think it's the 14th century.
Yeah.
You're like an assassin. And it's so weird to hear that they keep coming back to the more boring part of the movie, where you're in a hospital or something, and let's discuss this. I don't know. I haven't seen the film, but you guys really are not selling me on it. So,
Ken,
to quote Forrest Whitaker's Saw Gerrera, "Save the video game movies. Save the dream." Will we ever get a video game movie that works? I don't know. This was one that I had a lot of hope for because of the names involved. But what you're telling me, Schnepp, means we should have maybe doubted it a lot sooner.
See
based
Macbeth.
on what this.
Yeah. Well, don't see Macbeth.
Or don't see Macbeth. Fassbender, Cotillard, it's disappointing. I do love this game, and it was built for a franchise. You could have gone in different eras like the video games were, so I don't know. But I agree that the Animus is something that's very key to it, but to focus on a guy sitting on a doctor's bed, or actually looks like a little bit different. They lift him up into something.
It is different. It's dumb.
Should have been this, and the rest should have been that. That's what I'm not hearing, but I'm not going to see this movie for myself to judge. I'm just going to take it on your word, Jeremy.
Oh, hey, my word is there for you, Ken, but in terms of using the term ever, if Mark Ellis were here, we'd be chanting Mortal Kombat, because that's still the funnest one out there. In our top 5 that we did, that was not a hard list to get into, and this didn't even make that list. It's sad.
Despite how disappointed I am with Assassin's Creed, and I mean, Warcraft, I actually kind of enjoyed it. It wasn't a great movie, but I kind of enjoyed that. I still believe in video game movies. I still think they will make good video game movies eventually. I think that's something that, I mean, people have to remember comic book movies back in the day weren't that great.
Right.
They have good ones here and there, and then they had a run of really terrible ones. It's only recently where they're putting the talent and resources behind them. So I have no doubt that one day we'll get, like, whether it's going to be Uncharted or maybe
the new Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Tomb Raider. Maybe they'll make like a Fallout or Skyrim or Mass Effect game in the future. One day they're going to get it right.
The code will be cracked.
Yes, it will be.
Hope so.
Well, you know what? They did make a good video game movie, Battlefront. They made it called Rogue One, the last hour of Rogue One. Good video game movie.
All right, guys. Now we're moving on to live Twitter questions. Tweet us at Collider Video, and Wendy will pick out a few. What do we got first?
First one comes from Jason Lightfoot, who writes, "What do you think of the trend of putting Rotten Tomatoes scores in trailers? I don't know why, but it bothers me."
In the trailers, is it maybe
like TV spots?
It's got to be
I can see
TV spots.
yeah.
If it's TV spots, I'm totally fine with it. If it's an actual trailer, I don't think that's
right,
because
Rotten Tomatoes is an amalgamation of a bunch of different critics. I always prefer to see the person's name, because then remember, like, many years back, it was like Steve Scromley from 30-Second Review. You're like, who's that? It was like all these kind of bought out, like, fake journalists or whatever. So it's kind of fun to see Scott Mance like, it's amazing or whatever.
He did it for Rogue One.
I can't do the Christian
his little thing.
Harloff impersonation, but we all know what Scott Mance sounds like. And when I see the text, I hear his voice. So.
Yeah, we got stuck in cabs in New York for a long time, Dennis, and we got to watch Scott Mance on repeat.
Yes, and hear his voice over and over.
It. Yeah. We all love Mets. Yeah, I don't have a problem with this, just like you, Dennis. This is the age we live in. That's going to be something that people refer to. I agree, Joan, they should look into maybe what Rotten Tomatoes is. To people on the outside of our film fan bubble, they might, what's that? What? Oh, it said it's a collection of people and all their thoughts. But yeah, this is where we are. That's going to resonate with some people. Oh, it's good on Rotten Tomatoes? I'm going to see it. It makes sense.
Yeah, anytime something gets a sticker, people gravitate towards that. It's kind of like, oh, this Oscar nominated. It's like, who said, it's a collection of people who all said that was good, and now there's a title and a sticker and an award for it, and so that's going to be pitched because people are like, well, that means it's good then. Although I agree with you, it is the Rotten Tomatoes and the way it works is different than people think it works. But as long as it's on TV spots, I can see why they do it. But if it don't breach that don't breach that wall to theatrical trailers, because that will just get annoying.
Yeah. And you know what the new thing is, Schnepp? So before they used to take like some guy that like was in the middle of nowhere that was basically just you knew he was going to have a positive message about any movie just so he'd see his name on one of the commercials. Right. Now what they do, if a movie is so bad, they take Twitters.
Yeah, I've seen that. Tweets.
Not from critics. Anybody. Mm-hmm. They'll just use tweets from anybody that's just positive.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
I've seen
I'm
that
not
on
kidding.
TV spots. It was like, I agree. I've seen that, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Where it was like, it was amazing, and you pause it and you look, you're like, at Sherry Berry, and then you go to Sherry Berry, and Sherry Berry has like 4 followers or something. It's just a person who tweeted it.
Yeah, that's when you're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
That's amazing.
And that's when you know the movie's bad, which is like a nice flag for people. Like, oh, you mean it sucks? That's great.
Yeah.
That's got to be like
this is a movie I've seen.
Yeah,
right.
That's so embarrassing. Imagine the studio having to scrape the bottom of the barrel using tweets.
But Sherry Berry's so pumped.
Oh yeah, she's putting it on her Facebook page and letting all her friends know.
She's got a
about
YouTube channel, Sherry Berry, reviewing movies now. Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Jonathan Ottenbritt writes, just curious if any one of the Collider videos or Collider heroes will be uploaded to podcast this week. Thanks.
I had gotten a lot of tweets about it because we had movie talk on Monday and Tuesday in New York, and we hadn't put up the podcast. That was just a thing. We were busy doing work there and also in meetings with some of the Complex people, which is our parent company. So we just didn't have time to do that. We will retroactively upload those podcasts. All right, what's next?
Grey Jedi 28 writes, why wouldn't Disney drop a Star Wars Episode 8 trailer during the Super Bowl? Way more impact than Celebration.
I don't know.
A different demographic?
Not necessarily. I like sports and Star Wars, Jeremy.
I'm just saying generally, Ken.
Just because you only like the Seahawks, which is not really a team sometimes. But look, here's for me, that makes some sense. Super Bowl is obviously a giant worldwide audience, but number one, I don't think Star Wars actually needs to tap. Not that that would hurt them, but Celebrations is something they're trying to make the thing you need to go to every year for Star Wars, and if they're going to maybe preview the trailer there or a teaser there, then it goes to the general public later that day, or once everything's leaked. I think they feel as though confidently they can kind of market to their own audience first before it goes bigger. That's my thought from a layman's point of view.
Market it to their own audience. So you agreed with me.
I'm not saying you're right, Jeremy, because that would really be hard for my ego. But I just don't think they're not sitting around going, you know what we need? We need the Super Bowl bump.
I love you. No, and I agree. Because also the Super Bowl, isn't it like, how much money is it for 7 seconds?
It's a crap ton.
It's crazy. So,
Jon Schnepp, I know you're a huge sports fan. I know you throw Super Bowl parties every year.
I do.
Do you think we will see a Star Wars little teaser? Or what do you think they would do?
Well, Super Bowl is soccer, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Football. It would make sense if I think they could do a teaser for the Super Bowl and then do a full trailer for Celebration. I think that would make sense. Give everybody a little bit of flavor. Yeah. I love the Super Bowl. I like the biggest bowl possible when I pour my cereal. That's my Super Bowl.
They could announce the title on the Super Bowl. Just have bam. It's like 5 seconds long, so they don't actually pay out the million. Yeah, but it's a few million. But it's just like that'll get people like, oh my gosh, it's the title.
Or they could just release it on Twitter and it's free.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a good point. Good job.
Yeah. I don't think it's a good play just because Super Bowl it's so costly for those commercials. It's better to put out something that actually people don't know about. That way, the casual audience, everyone knows what Star Wars is. Everyone knows now that there's already been Force Awakens and now Rogue One came out. Everyone knows there's going to be a Star Wars movie sometime next year. I don't think they need a reminder for that. All right, what's next?
Mazen El Arasi writes, would you rather question for you, would you rather The Rock and Will Smith or Kevin Hart and Sam Jackson in an action comedy, also name the movie?
Name the movie. That's
yeah.
tough. I mean, I'd probably right now go with The Rock and Will Smith. I think that'd be an interesting combination. Oh, I don't know. Not sure. This is a side story. When we were on JetBlue, we're trying to watch that
Central Intelligence.
Central Intelligence. Couldn't watch the movie because it wasn't like VOD. You couldn't like play it. They were playing on loop, and you had to catch it.
You had to catch like
you had to wait till like it was like so when we were up in the air, started watching it. It was like midway through the movie.
Oh, wow.
It's like, okay, I'm not waiting another hour to watch the movie begin.
Yeah.
The Rock and Will Smith and Batter Boys. That's what it'll
okay.
be. Right
Batter
there.
Boys.
Batter Boys. Batter Boys.
I like that. Rock and Will Smith in Smack It Up.
Right.
I'm going with The Rock and Will Smith in Ego.
Ooh, I like that. Wait, I'm adding to mine. Smack it up, smack it down.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. What's next?
Brinjar Ryan, I'm going to just skip their name because I'm going to butcher it like I just did, writes, what is a better movie, Assassin's Creed or The Last Airbender?
Oh, come on.
Having not seen either, I can't comment.
Did you really not see either?
No, I refused.
Bless you.
They're both epically bad.
I haven't seen Airbender
my
in like
God.
6 years.
It's,
So I
it's
can't
terrible.
really recall.
It's terrible. Oh, that.
I haven't seen either, not for any
I'd
kind
say
of great cause
Airbender's
like John,
worse.
but I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, I mean, Assassin's Creed's probably better, but again, I haven't seen it in over half a decade. I have not seen Airbender in half a decade.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed by a little bit, just because
It's better.
Yeah,
Because I remember how crushed you were about Airbender.
Yeah,
you
that
were
was
just
terrible.
like, you were talking about it for days.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed. At least there's like some semi-cool action sequences in there when they're not ruining it by cutting it.
Right,
to
things
the
are
present
framed
day.
up and lit well.
Yeah, but yeah, Assassin's Creed by a little. All right, what's next?
I say Airbender is definitely worse because they really just killed anything
Entire
that had to do with the
franchise.
show. Yeah, don't do it again. All right, this one comes from Alan Reed, who writes, what is your favorite catchphrase from any character?
Ken?
I'm trying to think of what part of Young Guns 2 I want to quote here. Give me anything Billy the Kid or anyone saying from Young Guns 2. I'll make you famous. Anything like that.
I'll buy that for $1 from RoboCop, or I'm Batman from any Batman movie.
I'm your Huckleberry from Tombstone is a great one.
That's Tombstone.
Like Doc Holliday has copious amounts.
Doc, and also
of
I
one-liners.
often say, you tell him I'm coming and hell's coming with me.
Hell's coming with me.
I'll
That's
say
a
that
great
lot.
one.
Game over, dude. From Aliens.
Man, game over.
I don't know if this is one I would quote often, but I think about it a lot. Is in Unforgiven when William Money's about to kill Gene Hackman. He's like, I don't deserve this, and he's like, deserves got nothing to do with it.
I think we all want to watch westerns.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Westerns
time
have
for
some
a
great
Western.
lines.
I think so. All right, let's do one more.
Okay, nope. Phil Fang Foong writes, what voice acting performance totally took you out of the movie Christopher Walken as King Louis was hard for me?
Peter Dinklage in that Ice Age movie.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Peter Dinklage in Angry Birds.
I didn't know he was an Angry Birds.
Oh,
I
he
never
was
saw
the
Angry Birds.
big. Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
He's the big eagle.
I was like Schnepp. I was like, I'm gonna skip this one. But yeah, there's something about it. I was like, it's just Pete Dinklage. There wasn't anything to the villain. It really did take me out of it. He's a great performance actor, especially on Game of Thrones. But voice actor, it kind of takes me out of it.
Harvey Keitel from The Last Temptation of Christ, because he played Brutus. I mean, he played Judas, and he had a New York accent.
That's
He
amazing.
was like, Jesus, come on, what's going on with you? How come you?
Yeah. I'm Judas. I solve problems.
Yeah, I love when, especially if it's an English production, there's someone who's like just sticks out like a sore
That's
thumb.
amazing.
Fantastic.
I don't know. That's a tough one for me. I'll say some of the racist characters in Phantom Menace when their voices
Oh,
make me
yeah.
go, what? I don't know, but as someone who's very has a lot of friends in the voiceover community, I don't like when any celebrity comes in and knocks out the professional VO artists because they got a name. I get it
Right.
business-wise, but come on, keep the pros in there.
I get it.
This one didn't take me out of the movie, but it took me a little while to adjust to The Rock and Moana because
really?
I just kept thinking of The Rock. His voice is so distinct. And the actual animated character doesn't look like The Rock at all. So I just kept thinking of The Rock himself. So, but I still really like that movie. All right, guys, that's it for today's episode of Collider Movie Talk. I want to thank the people joining us at the table today. Jeremy, where can people find you?
People can find me at Jeremy Jahns on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, at Real Jeremy Jahns on Facebook.
Schnepp.
Yes, you find me on Twitter and Instagram, just at Jon Schnepp. And I've got Heroes just came out. We're like listing off the top 2016 superhero films. And later on today with Clark Wolf, we got Nightmares. So I'll see you then.
Ken?
You can find me at Ken Napzok across all social media platforms and the Force Center podcast feed. You can also find me on the JetBlue app. Still checked in for my flight from last night.
And Wendy Lee, where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube at the Movie Couple channel and on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat at WendyLee's80.
Ashley?
Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Ashley Mova. Happy Wednesday, guys.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero, on Instagram, Dennis.tzng. Thanks to Adam and Cody in the back, and Riley for doing the production notes. And we will see you guys tomorrow.
Hey guys, if you like this video, click the thumbs up button. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It'll help you stay up to date with everything we've got going on here at Collider.